Let's start with the video, Chapter 112 Summary. The next morning, Joe woke up early to prepare for a meeting with people from the TV studio regarding his new movie role. He needs to learn horse riding and lose weight. Ming, still asleep, stirred as Joe moved around. After drinking some water, Ming grabbed Joe's waist, smelling his body wash. Joe laughed at Ming's childish behavior before leaving for the studio. At the studio, Joe is taken to a racecourse for horse riding training. He had ridden horses before but never for this long. After half an hour, his legs were sore, but the trainer was understanding. Joe spent the whole afternoon training. Upon returning home, Joe noticed a military jeep parked outside. A man in a military cap called him over. It was Ming's father. Joe felt intimidated, as he had never dealt with military personnel before. He greeted Ming's father politely, trying to find the right balance between formal and endearing. Ming's father's serious demeanor made Joe nervous. Ming's father visited Joe and Ming's shared condo, expressing disbelief that his son lived there. He questioned Joe's age and their relationship, which Joe described as a serious choice made through countless pressures. Ming's father criticized their relationship, bringing up the topic of children and Ming's promise to him to marry the girl and have children. Joe admitted he was unaware of Ming's promise to his father. Ming's father then discussed Joe's acting career, advising him to settle down and help Ming with family matters. Joe, feeling numb, agreed with Ming's father's suggestions, acknowledging the difficulties of being with Ming. After Ming's father's lengthy advice, he left, and Joe collapsed on the sofa, feeling overwhelmed by emotions. He contemplated the challenges of their relationship, including Ming's hidden promise to his father. If you like this kind of video and want more videos, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. Only 8.7% of you had subscribed to my channel. Please subscribe, it will motivate me to make more videos like this. Thank you so much for your attention and participation. Let's continue with the video, Chapter 113 Summary. Joe received a text from Ming in the evening, saying he had to leave for a business trip urgently. Joe responded with, "Okay," and turned off his phone. He couldn't sleep and thought about his worries. He wanted to cast them aside but knew he had to face them eventually. Unable to sleep, Joe smoked in the dark living room until he fell asleep on the sofa. The next morning, he received a call from Watt, who shared gossip about Tong's involvement in illegal fundraising. Joe felt a mix of emotions, worried about Ming's connection to the situation. Joe asked Watt for details, but Watt didn't know much. After the call, Joe realized it was only 8 a.m. and turned on his phone to see messages from Ming. He messaged when Ming was coming back and received a call from him shortly after. Ming asked if Joe missed him and mentioned buying delicious food. Joe remained expressionless and said they would talk when Ming returned. Ming sensed something was wrong, but Joe insisted they discuss it in person. Ming's breathing became unsteady, but Joe ended the call abruptly. He decided to buy a used car, one that suited his status, and took a taxi to the hospital to take Ing home. After settling down, he went to the racecourse for training. He had planned to have dinner with Ing, but after training, Ming's call came. Ming prepared a table of food when he arrived home. Joe asked Ming when he was planning to tell him about his arranged marriage. Ming explained that it was temporary measures, and he didn't want to marry anyone. Joe was still hoping for a better reason, but Ming didn't refute. Joe felt exhausted and pointed to the door, asking Ming to leave. Ming admitted that he had thought about telling him but he just didn't want Joe to worry. Ming's ultimate choice was not to marry anyone. He asked Joe to trust him, but Joe said he didn't trust him and asked him to leave. Ming stood still, feeling his heart bleeding. Thank you for watching. If you want to read the novel, then visit patreon.com/blspoilers. The link will be in the description. Special thanks to my legendary supporters Melanie Harris, Kiera Russell, Rebecca, and Brian Stargell. Chelsea 212, Suzanne 233, Tamara Kumar, MZT, Maria Laubacan, Sharon Fong, Martina Bosankova, S. Armstrong, P. Pri, ed.